Criminals often make stupid mistakes, especially during interrogations, making it a lot easier for police officers to gather enough evidence to charge them for crimes. However, this is not always the case. Some genius criminals sometimes totally destroy police detectives, leaving them scratching their heads. Here are two cases of smart suspects who outclassed police detectives. First off is the case of Jeff Pearson. In 2011, police officers received a call of a possible armed robbery at a local 7-Eleven. When the officers arrived, the suspect had already fled the scene and was nowhere to be found. During a search for the suspect in the surrounding area, the cops heard a commotion in a house nearby, so they stormed in and discovered a known drug user with a gun inside. With no other leads or evidence, the officers brought him in for an interview. The addict, later identified as Jeff Pearson, was all the cops had, but they had no idea Jeff was not somebody to be messed with.
For now.
I'm under arrest?
Yeah, I'll explain everything, but before I explain myself to you, before we talk to each other, I need to read your rights, okay?
What am I under arrest for?
Well, like I said, I need to read your rights first. Obviously, the charge is robbery, okay?
Jeff immediately...
The first thing Jeff does is ask the police officer if he's under arrest. In a situation like this is the best course of action. If the officers say you're not under arrest, you can simply stand up and leave without answering their questions. But since Jeff was arrested, his only other option is to ask for a lawyer. To make sure Jeff understands these rights, the cops read out the Miranda rights, but Jeff was already way ahead of them.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to the lawyer for advice before we question you. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer and you want one,
Jeff does something even the cops were not expecting. He fully exercises his right to remain silent by not saying anything, thereby proving he knows exactly what he's doing.
rights. Do you understand your rights, Jeff? Yes or no? You understand?
We're getting paid more than you are, so we can sit here for a long time, man.
I just need you to answer me yes or no. Do you understand your rights? Let's get through that question. Do you understand what I read you? Do you comprehend what
The detective then leans back, trying to show Jeff that he's ready to wait as long as possible for him to start talking. The detective also tries to convince Jeff to talk, but it isn't working.
You got something that says you didn't do this robbery. This is your chance to talk to us.
Okay, good cop.
No, usually I'm the prick.
You look like the prick.
I am.
Jeff clearly shows the cops that he's not scared of them. He then requests to be put back in his cell. Jeff flawlessly won this round, showing exactly what you should do when you're arrested by the cops.
Am I under arrest?
Yes, you're under arrest.
Get me back to the cell. I don't talk to you motherfuckers.
Okay, fair enough.
The cops take Jeff back to his cell. He might have won this round, but it's not yet over. 2 hours later, he's brought back to the same room for another interview.
You want a Coke?
Yeah.
You gonna be able to pop it open, or you need me to?
Oh, God. I need methadone.
You need methadone?
Yeah, you guys can get me that methadone.
I don't have any. Do you have medication for it, or a prescription for it? Or?
No.
What do you need methadone for?
Cause I'm a fucking junkie, and you guys, I can't get no methadone. I'm gonna go through withdrawal here in a minute.
Jeff asks for methadone, a drug used to help addicts with withdrawal, something Jeff is probably starting to feel by now.
And heroin?
Long time, buddy.
10 years? 15 years?
I hardly been alive that long. What are you trying to talk to me about here?
Talk to you about what happened last night. Look, here's the deal. Either you're in a bad set of circumstances, or you went and committed an armed robbery last night.
Yeah,
right?
I'm in a shitty, wrong place at the wrong time, obviously. I didn't commit no fucking armed robbery.
All right, then let's talk about this. Let's
I
not
don't
keep up
I don't
the
talk
act.
to the police, man.
The detective keeps trying to force a confession from Jeff, even trying to make it look like he's trying to help him. Jeff, on the other hand, already knows that this is all a plot to make him talk.
Plain and simple, your side of the story.
I'm not talking to you. I'm a lawyer.
All right. This is what I don't understand. I know, but this is what I don't understand, Jeff. You were sitting there talking just like you were ready to sit here and tell me what happened last night, and then all of a sudden I read that to you and you screw it, I ain't talking to you. I want a lawyer. I don't understand that. What changed?
Because I told you what. I already told you what happened.
You didn't.
How didn't I?
You didn't tell me what happened last night.
How didn't I just tell you what?
But now you've handcuffed me, and I can't talk to you because you asked for an attorney. So okay, that's fine. But I will tell you right now, you're still on a hold for a robbery.
I know. I don't know why I need a fucking lawyer because obviously I didn't do nothing, and obviously you guys know I didn't do nothing because I've been arrested for the same bullshit before, and you guys don't interview me this much. So, wham bam, thank you for the coke, put me back in the cell. That's my home.
At this point, it just seems Jeff is playing with the detectives because he knows they have nothing on him.
I didn't do it.
Okay, well, give me your side of the story. You gotta convince me. Because I got a lot of evidence. I got a lot of physical evidence.
Well, like what? Name the physical.
Well, I don't need to. Why should I tell you that?
With not enough evidence to convict him of any crime, the cops had no other option but to let Jeff go. He was also cleared of all charges and has since started turning his life around. These cops were totally relentless, and you can say the same for the detectives in this next case. In January of 2022, Jonathan Kirk, popularly known as DaBaby, was supposed to be performing at a show at a nightclub in Miami. However, when the owner paid him only $20,000 out of the $30,000 he owed him, things got out of hand fast. The victim alleged that Kirk punched him in the face multiple times before he was attacked by more of Kirk's crew. He was beaten up before being robbed of his phone, his credit card, and $80 cash. Kirk then fled the scene in a black SUV before returning to the hotel a few hours later, only to be met by the victim and several police officers waiting to arrest him. He was taken to the police station and told he was only part of the investigation, but what the police didn't know is that Kirk is a genius at dealing with these kinds of situations.
Come on. Would you want to go through? This is just a formality. Just tell name, date of birth, and all that stuff.
Immediate. Kirk has already been read his Miranda rights, so he knows he has the right to remain silent. He also doesn't seem bothered about all the officers have to say.
At the hotel, 1500 Southwest First Avenue. That you were there for, correct?
What incident?
An incident. You had an altercation with somebody?
No.
You didn't. Did you have a business dealing with somebody?
No.
You didn't?
No.
So somebody didn't bring you $20,000 in front of the hotel in your SUV?
No. Somebody bring $20,000 that wasn't theirs and lied to them and told them that it was for an event of theirs on the 31st. And lied to them. That person, once he realized they were doing bad business, said nah and left for his $20,000.
Okay, so you didn't count?
And got my contact information to do business the right way. That's what happened.
Well, what time was this at?
I don't know. Whatever time they told her. Whatever time the camera showed me not robbing no damn body that time.
According to Kirk's story, he had nothing to do with whatever happened outside that day, and he had no idea what the cops were talking about. He was supposed to perform at a club called Cafe Iguana, but the deal went bad because the money was stolen, so he simply left the scene without causing any trouble. However, this still doesn't explain the footage of the altercation that was captured that day. But as long as Kirk sticks to his story, he's not going to have any problems.
A promoter booked me at that hotel. I didn't pay to be at the hotel. That was paid for. You'd have let me in my room, you would have saw close to $250,000 cash, legally, hard-earned money. I don't got to take nothing from nobody, bro.
So let me ask you this.
While Kirk's story might be convincing, the detectives weren't buying it. To them, an incident happened that day, and the primary suspect was Kirk, so they needed to find a way to pin the crime on him.
I encountered you in the hotel. You came back to the concierge, the counter.
Yeah.
Where were you coming from at that point?
Prime, whatever the hell. I went to eat. I went to get some food.
Where's that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
By this time, Kirk is already getting tired of beating around the bush, so he starts telling the cops to go straight to the point.
That's why we're here.
Talk about what y'all need to get me about this stuff. When I'm driving in the car, when I went to go eat, what time I went, that don't have nothing to do with the fact I ain't robbed the damn show. Me, nobody around me, ain't nobody robbing nobody.
Let's take the word robbery out of the picture.
So while we here, we taking the word robbery out of the picture. Y'all are robbery detectives. This is robbery unit. That's the second word he said. That's the second word he said when he came in here, robbery. Come on, bro.
Okay, listen.
He told me, he asked to question me about a robbery when I walked in my hotel. Robbery? I had every answer to the question you needed right there. Whoa, that ain't it. That's false. Okay, throw that out the window. We talking about robbery, bro. It's nothing for me to talk about. I didn't rob.
So do you think that
But Kirk wasn't done yet. What he does next absolutely destroys the cops.
Be robbing somebody, we wouldn't even be talking. Y'all would have cuffed me. I would be charged with it. That's what I know, bro. That's what I know.
With the detectives not having any evidence to charge Kirk with, they had no other option but to let him go. Just 2 months after the arrest, all charges against him were dropped, and he continues living freely. While rooting for criminals is definitely bad, these suspects clearly show how you should act if you ever get caught in a mix with the police. If you like these stories, be sure to subscribe for more so you don't miss anything. What's next? Stay tuned.